schedule things.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my favorite TV show, Timeshare Solution or Surrender, where we try to solve problems that occur within the timeshare industry. And with us today, we have Irene Parker, who has been the big advocate for helping many people find the solutions that they need. And also with us today, we have Mark Lee, who has suffered and struggled greatly this month with his new timeshare, and we are going to try to help Mark out today. So anyway, um, let's talk about a little bit about what's going on. So I want you guys to keep talking, okay? I just wanted a couple of heads on here, and I'm going to go look at something while you're doing this.
Well, you're doing
Okay.
that. Hey, Irene, I went and got this timeshare at Hilton Head, and it looks like they really are cheating me because I don't know what's going on. I thought that I was just going to get this presentation. It's going to be me, my younger brother, and my nephew. Shucks, they're getting ready to go to college. I thought this was the perfect college graduation present, and now I'm finding out that I'm paying more than I thought I should be paying, and all along those lines. So, what should I do about this? I mean, you're the timeshare advocate, and I thought that this was the perfect graduation present for my nephews because my oldest nephew he's getting ready to go to college and he's not really seen the world. He's not going that many places. I think he went to like a couple of trips here and there. So I was like, a timeshare would be a perfect way for him to see the world.
And he went ahead and signed the contract.
I did sign the contract, but like I said, the guy that it was like a presentation, and he just said that sign the contract, and if I signed the contract, that they would be guaranteed, and that this is something that my nephew could use from this point in his life on. So if I signed the contract, that it was something that they could use from now until they turn my age, and I'm in my 60s. So like I said, they are young men, and like I said, he's only 18 now and everything. No, 17, 17. He's only 17 now and everything like that. So I'm thinking that I was giving him a great gift.
Well, it can be a great gift for a lot of families, but if it's not sold honestly, then it is not the right product for your family. So I'm looking at here of, let me just go ahead and read the complaints and issues. Some consumers have complained that they were misled by sales representatives about the ease of booking, availability, and the benefits of the timeshare system, such as exclusive access to certain amenities. Several individuals have expressed frustration with the difficulty of canceling their Getaways resort management contracts, with some being told they are obligated under a specific age as reported. Financial concerns. Consumers have raised concerns about the rising maintenance fees. Did he know that maintenance fees would rise every year?
No, I did not know that. So I saw the people coming by there and doing some of the maintenance on the timeshare, but I didn't know that those fees were going to arise every day. They did promise us that we would get, I think it was 5 swimming pools in this particular one and everything like that. And I know my nephews, they love to swim. They swim at mom's house every time that they go visit her and everything like that. So I know that they think that they're fish.
Well, and here's what happened to someone else. Pauline said the Sapphire was a discounted travel club. They never mentioned the word timeshare. Did he even know he was buying a timeshare?
No, then I had no clue that I thought that it was a vacation rental because that's what I thought it was going to be was like a vacation rental. But they then told me after the fact that it was a timeshare.
Well, and these purchased to be able to visit their daughter who was deployed overseas, and said, so Kim, do we need to keep talking?
Just talk. You don't have to talk about this. I just needed. I just wanted something. So just talk about anything. I just need talking heads. That's all.
Well, let me
I'm trying
continue to
to.
read this then.
Yeah. I thought I'd give a theme so that it's easier to talk.
Right.
But Yeah, this is disturbing because it's not happening in any of the other studios.
Yeah.
Not,
No, it's not.
not,
And
none of
it's
them.
not so much, and it's not just studios, but because there's three studios that we use or three stream yards, so it's only happening on this
So
particular
there's three
show studio.
accounts. There's not one of the accounts, not one of the studios in this account
Right.
had the problem today. They all ran clean.
Well, there's two things that happened that were different. I told Mark is like 3 weeks ago when Jeremy was on. So it would be, this was 85, 84, 83, I believe. That was the first time we saw the Patmos at the ticker, Dr. Patmos at the ticker. That's the first thing that was different that never ever happened before. And then the next week was when we had the minute 37. And why did it just happen at minute 37? You would think if there was something goofed up, it wouldn't goof up at minute 37. The whole
Not
thing
a
would be
minute
goofed up.
37. You mean 37 minutes? Because it's
It
that
happened at
last minute.
37
37
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I clocked that down to the second. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was. So I know it. Yeah, I know why 37 seconds in, and there was a little bit of a
Minutes.
glitch before, but nothing that really caught my
Well,
attention.
again, like today, it was perfect. You
Right.
were listening backstage. You couldn't have got better sound. And I was kind of glad that Joan couldn't make it because when you have somebody with a cell phone and they
Yeah,
might be, coming back and in and out, that could, so everybody was like, had good system. Jake retired from IBM, and serves on an HOA board. So I don't think it was him. But who knows? Maybe it's just telling me I needed to stop this show.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
but you
about
know
that.
what?
You're
You
doing
and I
like
both
Kimberly
believe
said.
in those signs, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, you and
So,
I both believe in those. You know, sometimes something's trying to tell you to just hold back a minute. You're making great strides because it's like you said, you're getting more and more phone calls. I mean, it's all coming together. I'm a little
And that
clueless
and that
as
and this is the
to.
reason why, and that's what I was wondering about because it does seem like you are making those strides and everything. And I am a big advocate of advocacy, and as I've said on your show several times, so I see where you are making a difference and everything like that. I also see, and Kim knows this. I can sometimes be a conspiracy theorist as well. So it could also be not just that people are trying to say that it's time to for you to stop the show, but there might be forces out there that are trying to disrupt the show. And what those forces are doing and how they're doing it, that we don't know. So there are viruses and there are other things that are out there. So there might be forces that are trying to force you to stop the show when you don't need to stop the show because you are making progress. So there are viruses and there are other things that are out there. So there might be forces that are trying.
All right,
well,
things are
what
here.
is really valuable, and I never thought of this before, but with 83, yeah, 83 episodes that worked okay, that's a hell of a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys don't mind doing reruns,
No.
most of the effect is from me sending out those 550 emails every week.
Reruns. Most
And,
of the
and so, so I was going to go ahead and send out the 550 emails and say we had an audio problem again out of many. How many shows do you have about?
for you.
No, that I'm the only one of how many?
Oh God, 60, 70.
Yeah,
Yeah,
60 or 70
60.
close to right.
I mean,
Yeah, so,
I don't understand. Other than that's why I wanted to go into your studio today, that is programmed for next week, and I wanted to see if something goes wrong. But what's interesting is while filming, and I see I can't verify this. But what I was curious about was while you were filming live, you didn't hear it here. Could someone hear it where it was? Like when it started happening. So, or did all of this happen post encoding?
It happened post the show because
So,
Irene called me
so it's
afterwards because
happening at the encoding point. So,
well, not even encoding
but
because I don't think had you got the encoding yet, Irene? Had you even encoded
Yeah,
it yet?
yeah.
So
so
it's
It's
happening
on
in
the
the
it's on the
encoding.
happening,
showcase.
but it's in every aspect. But the thing is that when I'm playing it through, I wanted to see if where it's filming to while it's filming, because I know you don't see it here, but in another location, can you no, I don't want to do that. Can you hear it somewhere else
Hold
when
on
it
a second.
happens?
Hold on a
Because
second.
what's happening is when it's finished filming, we hear it. We hear it in YouTube, we hear it in Vimeo, we hear it in StreamYard. So something is happening.
Hold on a second because this is what it sounds.
Several individuals have expressed frustration with the difficulty of canceling their getaways resort management contracts, with some being told they are obligated under a specific. Now you're planning to end this stream and then listen to it and see if it's.
Irene. That's
I
what I
am,
just did.
yes.
That's what I just did. If you listen, that's you talking right there.
As reported, financial concerns. Consumers have raised concerns about the rising
Oh, you
maintenance.
ended it?
Know that maintenance
No, I haven't ended it.
rise every year.
This is how
Oh,
it
yeah,
sounded
so it's
on
not
the
ended.
report.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've gone to each of our destinations to listen, and there
But I'm just
it's
saying that I
not.
went back in time during the time that we were recording, and it still sounds clear from 15, 20 minutes ago. And like I said, that's in the Pod TV shows. So that's like somebody, if they were listening to the show at the time, that's what they would have heard if they were listening to us now.
Yeah, if we had somebody on the outside listening
Yeah, but
in
you
from
would
a
need
different
to, don't
destination.
you need to end this stream and then listen to this?
I will, but I want to run it a minute. So
Okay.
more than a minute. Just I want some hard time on it. But hear me out on why I wanted to listen to it live somewhere, because somewhere when it's done, it distorts in five
Right.
different systems.
Right.
Somewhere you got to see that happening live. Not all five encoders can be going bad. This is not a recording that goes from I download it from here to go into Vimeo and it was all bad. It's going bad five different ways and we're not seeing it live.
Right.
So
Or
this
even
is right. You know where I'm going, Mark. So I need to. I'm going to contact Streamyard again, but I'm just curious because not all five encoders would encode bad. See, we're in five different encoders. This is filming clean. It filmed clean when you filmed it today. But did anyone at any one of the other destinations see it go bad? And that's what I'm trying to listen to now. I'm trying to go into the other systems and go, did it come up bad there? Did it come bad here? But Mark, I mean, it would be a very rare situation where every destination would encode bad.
and it
That's
might
what
be
I don't
no, I hear
understand.
what you're saying, and I'm just trying to think of the different shows that I've done, not just for Pod TV and everything like that, but I know that even on Saturday I was helping Zach with his show and everything, and it seems to me that I recall one of his guests having a distortion and everything like that, but then he just kind of like um, it was just on that guest system, as I recall, and I'm trying to remember whether it was just on the guest system and everything like that. But I do remember there was a distortion, because it was just like it's frustrating Irene. It was frustrating him and everything.
Which show was that, Mark?
It's just because it used to air on the network, but now it airs separately, called Funk from the Front Seat.
Okay.
When was
right.
that, Mark? When did that happen?
He's always on Saturday, so this was this past Saturday. And I can go
Okay.
to that show and see if I see when it happened. So let me see if I can find out, because I remember he got frustrated as well, and he's on StreamYard, but he's got his own.
Yeah, but
StreamYard
it
account.
happened live, right? He saw it happen live.
It happened live, exactly. It happened live.
All right.
Oh,
So give this just another. We've been doing this for 15 minutes. I want a good, healthy.
what? How much time do you want to do it?
Let's go to 37. Seems how it messed up on, but it messed up on the first note today, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the first time. As soon as
Yeah.
she encoded it, because that's the other thing I was doing. I was trying to go back. I think this show, it was toward the end of the show.
I don't think encoding did it, because it's corrupted on all 5 destination points. Oh, wait. Mark. I want to check something. Hold on. All right. Check
As I recall, it was weather related, because there was some bad weather. We're in Arkansas.
Yeah, when it.
Because that's where his guest was at, within Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because even that's not staggered. That's the intro.
That's today.
Right, and that's the intro. And even the intro sounded staggered.
Eastern time. I'm Irene Parker.
Let me take a look at. I know the other shows did fine, so I don't have to look at them. Oh, I know what I want to look at while we're still filming. I just wanted a few extra heads rather than just 2. Geez, this is irritating, because they didn't say when they were going to have it fixed, but they told me they were going to fix it. Right. Let's go here and see if we can hear anything going on. And just chat, if you two can just chatter for me.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, this lady that is bad-mouthing me. Yeah, that we talked about after the show. This it's really weird.
You two can just chatter for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this lady that is bad-mouthing
me, Nancy and Anne Marie. I have attached Jay is an active duty Army service member. Families. Well, okay, so this is, I just can't believe this is happening when you are a volunteer. For as long as I've been a volunteer and have people accuse you of all these ulterior motives, it just really drives you through the roof. So I don't know what this is about, but I'll have to look into this later. Oh, man. But so what we'll do, obviously I can't go forward, but I would like to do those reruns.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work okay to do?
No, people do reruns all the time.
Reruns are perfect.
No, but I mean, can I rerun, like, okay, I want to rerun episode 1 and 3. So if like episode 2 was Sherida that got $44,000 back. So I don't want to rerun that because it's resolved. So I want to rerun 1 and 3 for October 20 and 27. And then when I reviewed episode 5, I was shocked that it was such an important show. I would have never known if I hadn't have gone back. And
I
it was
know.
Brian Rogers from Tug. So in November, I was going to take off anyway. So I'm up to episode 6, which is the former timeshare sales agent, Michelle Jabor. So to be able to send, uh, to say we're going to do reruns until, like, what is Nick saying? They're thinking of changing the whole platform to Boommaster?
What?
Restream or Boomcaster, which are competitors of StreamYard. But like I said, that would be a matter of
That
seeing
would be
whether
a
they.
major overhaul.
Okay,
Yeah.
but why would he say that if he thought it was just me?
He doesn't know it's just you.
Oh,
He's getting upset. This is what happens. Nick will get upset, and because and I agree, this should not be happening. But if it's just one show, let me troubleshoot it out. Right?
no, it's 2 shows.
Well, I don't think. Well, it's 2 of your shows, but overall 70 shows. It's just your show. I know it's not the account because we filmed all day long on that account. Um, it could be the time slot. I'm guessing maybe there's something wrong with the time. Um,
Why was it when we watched episode 80, which one was it? This is 85. We watched episode 84. When we were watching it the first time, did you see that thing that said player error? Okay,
no.
it just stopped. It froze the screen, and on when I was watching it, like right before maybe minute 20 or something, Don was watching it with me, and it said player error, and it froze. And so I said, well, we couldn't move it backwards or forwards or do anything. So I just X'd out. And when I came back in, I didn't get that. But when we got to minute 37, it was garbling. That leads me to believe if it says player error, that would have had to been something with StreamYard.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been. Again, I didn't see it. And you said it's just before it happened.
Yeah.
And player errors are usually equipment, and that equipment can either be in the main studio. That's what I meant, Irene, when I told you that I've seen it even with friends at ABC and other networks on the local level. So you can have errors in your equipment in the big studio, but you can also have errors in where they are filming at as well. So that's what I'm saying, that I don't know which
Yeah.
player it was. So it could have
So
been the one of the host. It could have been one of the guests, or it could have also been the big host, which is StreamYard.
I
if
can't imagine one of the guests would have caused that. I mean, in playing
uh,
it, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
first off, only the people, you, Mark, and myself, when we're in the studio, have access to everything. So nobody can,
Right.
their hands can't touch anything. Um, so I, I'm, I don't know. I'm going to contact StreamYard again today, and find out if they fixed it or if they're still trying to fix it. I do want to know now. I want to know answers. Because this is, again, twice. Um, what I would recommend, maybe, I mean, I hate doing this, but if you're not comfortable with this, I would recommend maybe in the future when you come back, film um, what we call post rather than live. You're still filming live, but if we see something and can catch it as it's happening, um, that we can fix, but we can go back and re-edit things. Catch it as it's
Would it
happening.
be better just to do a YouTube channel?
No, 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 no.
I mean, for
Why?
me to do a YouTube channel,
Why?
like Jeremy does.
No. YouTube is not that great, and you have to go by a certain time that they until you get up to 10,000 viewers. and
That
or
YouTube can
or
also
has
be
it changed
very.
to 1,000? But I mean, you can, but I can't help you.
Yeah, I
I'm not going
know.
to work with YouTube anymore.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm done with
One of
YouTube.
the guests suggested it today, that
It's
was
not
on
it's
when I
not
told her.
better. Actually, this is really good. I mean, this is a really good system. I don't know why it's choosing to not work with you, or and like you said, it just might be a sign from God saying, Irene, I want you to back off a little bit.
Yeah,
Not not being mean to you, but maybe we're overlooking something. Um, maybe we're not seeing something that we should be seeing. You know, I'm a very spiritual person when things like this start to happen, because this is fluky, because it's happened to you, um, not somebody else.
and Mark
Yeah.
said, maybe somebody, there's a lot of power between these developers, that maybe someone has sabotaged the show, and that could very well be. So,
Mark, I
well,
would have
listen,
never thought of that. Yeah, I would have.
yeah,
I mean, that's a good.
um, yeah, so I don't think waiting until minute 37 is going to accomplish anything. So,
Well, it's not a
um,
minute 37. I just wanted to fill it with content. Hold on. Um I wanted to fill it with content, and I'm going to remove a few things.
Give it to go to hang time, but I'm still here listening to y'all. But y'all two can chit
Well, I'm
chat while
just,
I'm
again,
still,
nothing's
here.
happening.
I'm just off camera.
What what other things do you do, Irene, when you're on?
what do you
You
mean?
run the media assets, you run the
No, no,
banners, you
no,
know.
nothing.
I'm beginning to think like Mark that you are a powerful presence. So several things in my life happen that sometimes dictate what I want to do versus what I should be doing versus what I want to do. And sometimes things like this happen to me, pushing me not to do it. But sometimes it's the devil. I hate saying that. But sometimes, yeah, the Japanese had this thing of
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you are
Tim,
making,
I'm going to have to call Jimmy, because this is really a nightmare, what this woman is doing to me on top of what happened today. So let me, if you
what
learn
is she
anything,
doing?
um, I can call, if you want, I can call Jimmy, and you can
Yeah,
hear
just bring him
what's,
in. I'm here now.
okay. Okay, let's see here. Three, okay. Okay, so Jimmy,
Do,
okay,
do, do,
Jim,
renew,
Jimmy, Jimmy. Okay.
renew, save.
So he, hey, Jimmy, I have Kim is on StreamYard. We're trying to see what's going on, but what is really weird, you're not going to believe this, okay? There was a May 20th email from me to Linda Welch, who was on the show, and she's someone that doesn't really know Nancy at all. And I copied Nancy and Anne Marie on this. And I said, Linda, meet Nancy and Anne Marie. I have attached your beginning report. We can finish it tomorrow. Thank you for being a guest with Nancy on June 2nd. Nancy is admin. So I introduced Linda to Nancy and Anne Marie, okay? And this is her report, okay? And then email from E64. I don't know why I did all of this. Email past and future guests, supporters, 7 of 9. So this is actually this report. This is a really long report, and I don't know. So, okay. Oh, wait a minute. So, hey, Jimmy, I have Kim is on stream. So I have what I sent. Okay. This was from me to Linda with a copy to these two. Okay, and then what I attached was Linda's report, and for some reason, a recording of Anthony Burley, who is one of the most disgusting sales agents, that we recorded him with fraud. Now, why I attached that, I have no idea. And then she responded just to me with this huge. So I was thinking that this report was Anne Marie's report, but Nancy referred Anne Marie to me. Okay. So she was the first one. And I think there was okay, here is Anne Marie now on May 9th. I have no idea why. I must have been talking to her because I have the only thing, the email from me to Anne Marie on May 9th was, and I think Nancy probably, referred her. For some reason, I put Acuity Strategic Partners. Acuity Strategic Partners is the lobbyist in Washington, D.C. that told me to form TARDA, a 501c4. And then I have Anne Marie's beginning report. So I mean, first of all, what's wrong with asking donations? None of the volunteers receive a penny of it. It's for our liability insurance premium so we can exist. And so the report, Kim is wanting me to fill up some content here. So I said, she's in New York. We are asking for our Sapphire Resorts contract to be canceled. Our son has hand-heart syndrome, which is a rare disease in which he has multiple congenital anomalies, meaning almost no arms or legs. And I mean, this would have broken my heart. Kim would be sobbing if she was on the phone with this person. And then I said, Geo Holidays Club, and it's got the link for the unethical practices, Gateway Resort Management. And then, okay, so what she did on April 20th, 2023, we purchased a triannual membership of 33,000 credits. Okay. We agreed to a meeting at the Jockey Club. They said it was a discounted. Bolden said okay, so this was her. Okay. So the thing is, what's not right is, and I thought of this when I was ready to block Valerie. Remember, you met Valerie on the show. You remember Valerie? She was the one that Jonathan, where she's filed an arbitration case against Holiday Inn. And she just, I won't go into everything that was crazy that she did. I mean, I can't believe she sent this thing signed with my name to it and sent it to Jams, the arbitration. Yeah, Kim is asking me what's going on with her. So I was ready, after she did that, I was mortified and I was ready to block her. And I thought, wait a minute, that's what Nancy did to me. She didn't even talk to me. And Kimberly, there's a Taylor Swift, you know how when you go to a browser and you see those articles, there was a Taylor Swift 3 minutes, a crash course on how Taylor Swift, oh my God, you wouldn't think she had any critic, how she handles criticism. And so she thanked her viewers, and I'd have to look at it again, but it's like to have for somebody that's 40 hours a week, Don says 50 hours a week, volunteer, that's never earned a penny, to just blast me like this, because everybody forgot that Nancy, you know how stressed out I am before one of these shows.
Oh, I know.
Okay. And to have Nancy, to have Nancy call me an hour or two before the show when I'm out of town on the way back from Kim's house at a hotel filming the show. And she calls me and said, these people are like the mafia. And I'm told that we can't say the date that we're going to protest. And her camera didn't work and her microphone didn't work. So I need, okay, but Kim's never heard it before. So then you had a question about the gray card. So that's why I reached out to Jonathan, and Jonathan said he could be on the show. I'm like, great. I love experts on the show. And of course I would talk about My Resort Co-op. So to jump with no accountability on Nancy's part for screwing me an hour before the show, and then to just accuse me of being, and so I didn't know this Anne Marie Lynch. She was in cahoots with Nancy. She's not like Linda Welch, who knows me really well and reached out to Tarda. And so as far as I'm concerned right now, they're both crazy, because I mean, what did she say, that I promised to get her out? I've never promised anybody to get anybody out of a timeshare.
Conversation, there's a part there. And I promised I wouldn't tell anybody, so I won't tell anybody. It's not about you.
Okay. Let me go to my messages.
I sent you everything because I was curious. She said, some lady on here scammed me, and I said, basically, well, how'd they scam you? And she told me, I sent you the screenshot.
Oh yeah, listen to this, Kim. She promised to get me out. I have never in my life promised to get anyone out and asked for a donation.
No, you haven't.
And
You
told
don't.
me all of my complaints were just that. And I can't, let's see what is it said. And told me all of my, she promised, okay, oh, wait a minute. Who is, oh, look at, wait a minute. So far, so good with the other company. Next week, formal letter. This was October 3rd. Going to them from the lawyer. She's a scam artist. She's an exit company solicitor.
Yeah.
I've had this happen. Yes, she is, because she said, so far, so good with the other company. Next week, formal letter will be going to them from the lawyer. That sounds like the scam Stonegate. That's exactly what Stonegate did. So now she's saying she promised to get me out, then asked for a donation for the cause, and told me all my complaints were just that and no standing to my case. She is just full of it, Jimmy. She is really, and
I must have tried. She told me a few weeks back, included anything, but anyhow, she would.
Of course, she doesn't want me to see this. She knows it's
something else and hoped it worked so she could give
no.
the members an answer.
I would, yeah, this is so defamatory. I can't believe it. She promised to get me out and then asked for donations for the cause. That's just nonsense. That's nonsense. I would never, ever promise anybody to get them out of their timeshare. And then when it's preceded by, no, it's not. It was that lady that Nancy was supposed to interview with. So far, so good with the other company. A former letter will be going out to them from the lawyer. Yeah, they sent me to collections, but so far nothing bad has happened. So anyway, I have too many people reaching out that we have helped, that I can't let these and I tell you what happened. Kim is still wanting me to fill up some space here. Is like about 8 years ago, Mike Finn, we all know Mike Finn. Okay, so in 2016, in January, after I read that New York Times, I met in his office, and there was a conference call with Lisa Schreier. She had a blog for like 20 years called Timeshare Crusader. And I think it was like professional jealousy or something. Unfortunately, she had a horrible disease. And all of a sudden, people started accusing me on Red Week of soliciting for Finn Law Group. And when in 2016, I only knew one law firm. And I would say, well, this is what I did to resolve my dispute. And like Sheila that you met today, I was so glad. I spent hours with Sheila over 3 years until she got her loan canceled with, and then she ended up paying Finn something at the end of it. But it's like this lady she definitely has sinister motive. Because she's just, if this had, like Linda Welch, she was on our show, and I meant to contact her too to see the status, but there's something wrong with both of these two, Anne Marie. But isn't that something that I introduced them to Pat with her Sapphire complaint? Well, that I won't lose any sleep over that. She's just, yeah, she's
Just, it was there. And that's what I was told on October 3rd, and I thought maybe it might explain some of the rift between you and Nancy.
no, you can't talk back to people like this, for one thing, neither of them ever talked to me about it. And I mean, anybody who had a child, it's really weird, because she had a picture of her child, and it broke my heart that he had no arms and legs, like I would really try to rip somebody off like that. Oh,
And
We're finding out there's no empathy and no morals in a timeshare.
if you record this and you can give this to me, then it would be wonderful for Jimmy to have a link to this that we're recording live right now. And
well, I took down a lot of the live, so people aren't listening to our private conversation. I did set up the live just to see, because Mark kept thinking maybe it was an overweight, but honestly, you don't have yours going to as many places as Nick does. So I don't think it was an overweight of broadcast. I thought I saw while we were filming, I was watching, and there was a moment I thought I saw some drag and delay, but
yeah, well, Jimmy was on the show today, and we can tell you it was perfect while we were there.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm looking for is, could you see it on the broadcast sections? So it's one thing that you see it here and it's nice, neat, and clean, but it's distorting when it should be encoding, but not all 5 systems would distort encoding, because you're encoding in 5 different systems: Vimeo, YouTube, all of them are final encoding in different places.
Well,
So I don't
and
understand.
you know what? I don't want to keep Jimmy on this, because
Right. Hi, Jimmy.
oh, you don't mind? Okay, because the thing is, Kim, what if it was when I started encoding? You know how you said it used to be automatic, and I used to have to put out an all points bulletin for Mark and Kim because they're busy, and they would have to do what we call encoding. And so after the show, I download it it's like you go to the past and it's at the top because it's the most recent, and I have to download it into my computer, and then I have to upload it onto our team library. It's like a collection of all of our episodes. And so maybe it was something that I didn't realize I was doing wrong or something doing that. But if so, we'll never figure it out. And, it's been a really good run, and this show has been so helpful, but obviously it can't continue unless StreamYard can fix it after the fact. I can't take a chance on having, the show's stressful enough, but to go through it and then have it be ruined is just too much. And then on top of that, to have these two yo-yo brains out there. Are you sure you can't record this and have Jimmy get a copy of this? We've been recording and get it to Jimmy so he can
I will be recording here on Vimeo.
Okay, yeah, if you can get a
So-
link to it, and so I can
I'll
say
send
that
you a
they
link.
are false and defamatory, and if I can get the email, I've never put a penny of my own money into this, but if I do, I'm gonna get a lawyer and send her a demand letter to cease and desist, because what she is saying is false and defamatory. And she's not just saying it against Irene Parker, she's saying it against our whole board.
Right.
Because our board knows me, Ada, and Jake, obviously I've never had to help Jake with anything with the timeshare. I need him to help me with timeshares. But for most of the board, I met them because I helped them and spent hours and hours to support them in their dispute process. So
Something, Miss Irene,
yeah,
in that conversation, she never mentioned Irene.
yeah,
Just
because she
the way-
knows she's full of it. But before they did, you sent me something before that they did post that maybe it was Nancy that posted.
It was Karen from the Geos.
See, and I don't even know who that is. You gave me her name back then. I've never heard of her. So there's just, they're as bad as Sapphire.
Yeah.
They really are.
By the way,
Anthony Burley?
in fact, rejected a phone call from him because I said, John, I want to record this conversation. Oh no, my company doesn't allow it. But you started off this phone call with, you're on a recorded line. So,
No, that was,
record me.
no, that was recorded in a one-party state. So it was legal to record without the other person. Florida is a two-party state. And unless that was the one where he recorded it and didn't know it was illegal, so I called the the Florida Attorney General and talked to their criminal investigative division, and they said that it just means Kim knows everything about this. It just means it's inadmissible in court. And that, yes, they could sue you, but if they found out about it, but if you caught them in fraud, that would be stupid for them to pursue you when they were defrauding you, which he clearly was.
All of those phone calls are coming out of which is probably a one-party recording.
Yeah, that's a one-party state. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah. So what are you going to
Wait
do
a minute, Jimmy. What
are you going to do about this lady who's being, a radical, whatever?
Well, like they blocked me, and so I can't even talk to them, which is why I decided not to block Valerie. If she were to email me and apologize, I would. We're all supposed to be Christians, right? Or even doesn't matter if you're Muslim or Jewish. You're based on. But then since biblical times, Cain and Abel. And look at the Old Testament, it's just people at each other's throats all the time. So it's just part of human nature. But I'm getting a really bad headache now from all of this. And I probably should but Jimmy, I really want to thank you for taking the time to know that Irene Parker is not some sinister character that is demanding donations that I'm burying in my backyard.
So first off, you don't ask for donations. And second of all, you don't ever promise anyone that you'll win for them or anything. You just say, let's take a look.
Kimberly, you and I, we could you're well enough that you can do this. If you're well enough to do this, why don't we film just you and me October 20 and just talk about this?
Because I'm in therapy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Too bad.
I do therapy Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't get out of that.
Well,
because
Jimmy,
I want to graduate. They moved my graduation date to December 6th. though, because they had to cancel all appointments on Friday.
Well, okay, if you can figure out what's going wrong with this, Jimmy, would you be willing next week to test it again?
Now, we can
You
film
want-
something like this to
Wait for me.
broadcast on Tuesday, or if you want to do it when I get back on Monday, that's fine too, because
Isn't this
that's
our regular slot?
at 4:30 Monday.
No, you mean you can just reschedule it so it's a different time?
So we won't go live except for broadcast points, but I can film it and we can throw it into a time slot. We can do it. We can do this tomorrow, and I can take what we do tomorrow, and we can film what.
No. What I was implying is that if you talk to StreamYard, and it really sounds like nobody's gotten to the bottom of it. It could be me.
But first off, they don't talk to people. That's what bothers me. I have to do everything.
Mark says he's got a contact he can talk to there.
Okay, so I'll have to go because Mark does it more than I do. He's the director, so he deals with me.
So if they are able to get to the bottom of it and we just want to test it, and Jimmy and I are willing to just do a whole hour together, we can talk about, lots of different things. We might, and she's kind of retiring and she's really into this. And Jake, I don't want to bother Jake anymore, but Sheila would probably come on. We could
Sheila
just do
would
the
do
four
it.
of us.
Yeah.
But but that's only if StreamYard it could be me, it could be StreamYard, it could be a saboteur. So we don't know who's doing it.
The minute Mark, because I did think about that the other day. It ran through my mind, and I go, I can't do conspiracy theory every time something happens, because I tend to lean that way. But I'm battling people taking my accounts down at YouTube. They took down my accounts every in every way, shape, or form. I've had to
see,
appeal.
I'm the only one you're so closely affiliated with, right? You don't do a regular hour show with anybody else because
Nick
of your
very
husband
upset about that.
Yeah, but I mean, since your husband died, you said this was the first show that
Yeah,
you did.
I know. I chose because I'd lost my voice anyway.
So maybe they're sabotaging you and not me.
No. Well, no, I do know that when they took me down on YouTube and tried to take my Google down, I do know that was they're attacking me because I hit a sore point. But I think you are the one, because it's all timeshare. And Mark is right. You've been hitting home runs.
Yeah.
And I think that, but our systems are pretty well protected. This is what I don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got hacked a few years ago, but it was it was a mad employee, and they deleted everything that they could get their hands on. And fortunately, I happened to be awake at 1 a.m. when they were doing this, and was able to stop it and protect it. But protect some. But I'm starting to think that Mark is right. I'm going to go back.
And I was supposed to call somebody at 3:00, and I know she's trying to get her report out. So just, if you and Mark can continue to research it and see, but I think what we should right now go back to, let's do a rerun for the 20th and the 27th. That's only 2 more weeks more than
I hate that, because you had some really power hitters.
I had 2 attorneys to be on the show, Mike Finn and a new attorney, Ed Lake, for October 27. But I can't take $400 an hour guys.
Nick and I wouldn't do this to heavy hitters if we were having problems either.
So it's just you and me. That didn't mean you're not a heavy hitter, Jimmy.
I'm talking about, I don't blame you. I don't want to do anything until I figure out what is causing this on just your studios to begin with. Because an hour of content and data collected is a lot of work. And I personally don't, Mark, I'm not seeing you, but can you send me the phone number of the contact that you have for StreamYard?
Say what?
Can you send me the contact number you have for StreamYard?
It's a contact email. It's Dana, who was on the show a long time ago. I think she's still there, but yeah, I can send you her email. But she was on my show a long time ago, and that's
No,
my
Mark,
main
told me
contact.
that I asked, when I asked if you could speak to a human, you said there were a couple people you knew there.
Yeah, Dana, I know over there, and then they also do these workshops because Brian used to go to those workshops regularly. They were doing them like weekly, so they would have like.
You said you were
But
able
I'm
to
saying those
talk
are
to
live
them.
people. Those are live people. That's what I'm saying. They're in the StreamYard office when they do those weekly. I think they do them on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they do a town hall.
But it's a town hall, right?
Right. So I will try to do that. Where are you streaming from that we're getting feedback?
Yeah, that's because he's on the phone. I learned that if somebody's on the phone and
Yeah, I'm on the phone. I'm waiting for the bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to end the stream. We've collected about 55 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Well, thanks for researching it. And
well, what I need to do is figure out why it's just your shows.
Well, that's what I was going to ask Irene. That's what I was wondering. Maybe the next time that you decide to do a show, whether it's a live or pre-record, let's try you not encoding and go back to either me or Kim encoding, because I'm wondering if your machine can't handle the encoding.
No, Mark, I'm thinking it has nothing to do with the encoding because it's the product finishes in like 5 or 6 different locations. YouTube,
Right.
Facebook, because I went and looked at because I thought, well, maybe we can steal a show from Facebook if it didn't mess up. So it's not, it's not the final encoding. I thought it would be, but we could try that.
This is really hard with all the garbling again. After all the garbling.
All right, I'm going to turn you off. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right. So the thing I think is that I'm going to collect this data as well and take a look at it after it's finished. And then again, I will reach out to them. If you're willing, even though we're not...
if you get to the bottom of it and you need us to do an October 20th, and it's just Jimmy and I talking for an hour about his favorite sports team and television shows, we'll talk about this, but I'm sure we can fill up a whole hour. And I think Sheila and Teresa would be game to do it. Maybe even Jake, and there's a lot to be said. And Jimmy, don't you think it was really, even though your Sapphire and everybody else was Club Exploria, it was really good to get to know those other three, wasn't it?
Well, we are wrapped up in our own problems, and mine happens to be Sapphire.
Yeah.
But I'm also sitting there thinking while I'm at it, Sapphire, and I'm not paying them a penny. It's not what they're going to get from me.
Yeah.
And of course, mine's collecting late charges and everything else that evidently I said was okay in a contract. But I didn't start off at $50,000.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, so I wouldn't hurt to just take a two-person show and talk about how I got into this and what I've learned. And I could fill up a whole hour just talking about like Leo Gomez that called me with 30 days left to live that I talked about.
Yeah, just tell a story. But hear me out on this. I can't be on, this is what I want to do. I'm beginning to think that there's something to what Mark mentioned, that maybe it is because you come on precisely at 1 every Monday. Your show is the only one that has this problem. The only one. Now, I know Mark said that the show on Saturday has its glitches, but it's not the same. It is not the same. So if you're willing to go ahead and I think I just used up your studio for next week. I'll build a new one and let's see what happens. If you're willing just to go on and tell a story, don't.
As long as I know it's just a test, right, Jimmy? That we're just trying to see if we can salvage the show and try it again
And
and
I'm
see.
thinking it's one of two things. It's the 1 o'clock, or it's a sabotage of some kind, or because no one and Mark, I don't want to put Mark back on because of the feedback, but I'm truly beginning to believe that that's the problem. And I'm going to end the stream because we're at 1 hour exactly.
Yeah.